That's Lizzo.
Right.
Lizzo's actually talking.
That's what I thought as well.
Yeah. She is the most charming, funniest, realist, coolest person. So, my gosh.
It's Capital Breakfast. It's Friday morning and it's Will Manning. I'm so happy to say on the show right now, is an actual superhero, a legend, and a lovely man. So I've heard. Paul Rudd is here.
Hey.
No, Paul, we've actually spoken before. We did a press junket. But the thing is, it was one of those awkward ones where I said hello, and immediately the woman down below was like wrapping me up straight away, and I was like, I've messed it up.
No, they only last about 30 seconds, those things. I know, it was
like one of my first ones as well. I was like, all right, don't say hello, just get straight to the point.
I'm the worst, too, because I start talking. Somebody says hello, and I'll say, hey, how are you? Was it tough to get here? Like, I'll start talking, and the poor journalist who's polite and smiling, I could just see the panic in their eyes of, like, you're eating up all of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And next minute, you're there for 18 hours in a room, and you've got the domino effect of it. But anyway, look, we've got time today. We can chill. You've got a coffee, is it? Put your feet up.
Yeah.
Keep it away from the equipment.
I'm not gonna. I can't reach it, but I know it's there, like a safety blanket.
Good. I can't even see it, so you're fine.
Yeah.
Look, you're here to talk about this incredible new film, which I got the pleasure of watching yesterday. Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantum Mania. It's out right now, everybody. So, like I said, I had the pleasure of going to see it. Very, very cool. And I enjoyed the themes of this film because it delves into a few things like father-daughter relationships, imposter syndrome, and then, of course, you've got all the action as well on a microscopic scale. When you first saw the script for this, what were your first thoughts?
That the visual effects budget better be big.
Right. How much money did that VFX cost? It's insane.
Yeah. It looks crazy. I mean, you're in this quantum realm, and I thought, I don't even know what this is going to look like. But it was, it was exciting to know that it was going to look nuts when the thing was done, and it does. And that, it's a cool story, and we're introducing Kang the Conqueror. Yeah. Which, I mean, I'd always heard about Kang the Conqueror. I didn't grow up really invested too much in Marvel comics and all that, but I remember hearing about Kang the Conqueror because he seemed like he was a big villain, and he is. And so I was like, ooh, we're going to get to introduce this character, so that's cool. Yeah. I liked it.
That's a good film. My favorite part was the thousands of you that just sort of came out of nowhere.
Oh, right, yeah.
Which must have been, I mean, actually, when you were filming that, what were you looking at, thinking about it? What did you see?
I saw tape marks and a blue screen, and, I had done this show called Living With Yourself where I played a clone.
Yes.
And I learned a couple of tricks as far as how to play opposite myself when there was nobody there. Okay. The main things being eye lines and which character, which version of me I'm going to record first, and then I listen to myself after I've recorded it so I can react to my own voice. I learned like a couple of tricks working on that show, but in the movie there's more than two of me. There's about 1,000. Yeah, and it took forever to do. Like, it took so long to shoot just that one sequence, weeks. And I had to come back.
Weeks.
I had to come back after we were done with the movie to do it a few different times, and I guess technically it was really, really hard for those guys to kind of create that thing.
Yeah, one of those ones where I regret writing that in the script, actually. We could just do without that scene, right? Yeah. Doesn't actually need it.
It was really tedious.
Does it? Yeah, right. And it was worth it. The payoff was so worth it. I cannot believe, by the way, that we're at 31 MCU films now, I want to say. This is the 31st, actually, isn't it?
Wow.
I mean, I'm going to be honest. I've not seen all of them. Have you?
No.
Right. I was going to ask you to maybe, in a non-plot spoilery way, describe the storyline thus far for those who haven't been up to date and maybe missed a few, but is that not possible?
Oh, I mean, I could try.
I'll give it a go.
All right.
How well can we do?
Let's see what happens. So, okay.
From the beginning.
From the very beginning. There's Robert Downey Jr. puts on a suit of iron.
Great start.
And he could do all of this cool stuff, and he's a really smart guy. Then there's some other people that can do really cool things. You get them all together, and they're an amazing group of superheroes. A bunch of stuff happens. They face this really, really bad guy called Thanos. They all try and fight him. I come along because I'm kind of kidnapped basically by a guy named Hank Pym who says, look, I used to be this guy called Ant-Man. You should be Ant-Man. I'm like, what's what's Ant-Man?
Right.
And so then he teaches me what Ant-Man is, and so I become Ant-Man. And I join this group of superheroes, and blee, 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 blah, 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 blah.
Here we are.
I save the universe, and then we start this one. And so, yeah, it's after the events of Endgame. All right, yeah, I can already see the eyes glazing over. Most people know this stuff.
Still
But
going,
if you don't,
still going.
if you don't, just don't. You're not going to catch up.
Just
now.
Google it. Just Google
Just
it.
Google
Just
it.
Google it. That was pretty impressive. Pretty impressive. On paper, it's a bit mad, isn't it? When you read it, it's like, what?
Yeah. Yeah,
What?
it's an intimidating thing, I would think, because there are so many of them. You think, well, I'm not going to start now.
Right.
It's hard where
Yeah.
you think, do I have to go back? And, I think with all of these films, they think we want to make all of them so that if you kind of see them here for the first time, you can still enjoy them.
Yeah.
And I think that is true to a certain extent. However, if you have any if you have any information about what's come previous, you probably will get a few more.
It does
things.
help.
Yeah,
It definitely does help. Paul, we've got more questions for you. And in fact, Lizzo has a question for you next as well.
Are you kidding me?
I'm not kidding you. Do you want a sip of your coffee? Are you all right?
Yeah.
Can you reach it?
Let me see.
Go on. Emmy, pass it. You're right.
Whoa!
Oh, don't do that, honestly. We've had spillages. The engineers kick up.
Yeah.
Right, so on Tuesday, Lizzo is here, being incredible. She's Lizzo. She's
Boy,
phenomenal,
She
right?
sure seems it. I don't
really
know her,
is.
but she seems awesome.
Well, listen, we mentioned that you were going to be on the show. In the music video for her new song, she plays a superhero. So it kind of like tied in quite nicely. So we said, look, if there was a potential team up between Super Lizzo and Ant-Man, how would that look? Here's what she had to say.
In the most interesting.
Think about it. Think about it.
Interesting superhero name of all time.
Yeah.
Ant-Man.
Not thought about it. I think you two could do a little superhero team up.
Listen, I would do anything with Paul Rudd. Almost anything with Paul Rudd.
Okay.
Friendly stuff with him.
I was going to let you fill in the
He's
gap.
so funny. Like, I like him a lot. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know him, obviously. He's like a famous actor.
Do you want to know him?
Tell him I said what's up.
Okay.
Yeah.
First thoughts.
I like she says, I can't know. He's a famous actor. Meanwhile, I'm like, that's Lizzo.
Right.
Lizzo's actually talking.
That's what I thought as well.
Yeah. She's great. And I saw her. She did this thing called day drinking with Seth Meyers. There's a
Yes. Yeah. I saw that as well.
And it was the only time there was a writer on that show. He was wearing a mask because of COVID, and so she thought that writer was me. We looked alike, and she thought we did, and then we really didn't.
Right.
But I was watching it, and I got very giddy because I thought, oh my God, Lizzo just said my name. So now to hear this again, I feel like we really do need to meet, and I need to be friends with Lizzo.
It has to happen.
But the one thing that like I really, I really took away from that was she is the most charming, funniest, realist, coolest person. So my gosh, if you talk to her again, tell her I said what's
we'll
up.
pass this on.
Yeah,
and
please.
I'll just be the middleman between this. I'm happy with that.
Right, all right, fair
You
enough.
probably live closer together than you two, than I do. But, I'm happy for that to happen every time you guys come to London. Just keep on passing this message along years and on.
You'll be the conduit.
That's it. She did diss Ant-Man a little bit, though, there. She didn't like the name, which I thought was a bit offensive. So, leave that out. Leave that out.
You know what? It's
Lizzo.
yeah, and it's also, I mean, Ant-Man.
Yeah.
I mean, let's get real. It's not, it's like,
They rushed that one. They rushed that one. Yeah. We've got some listener questions. Obviously, as soon as I said your name on the show, people were texting in like, oh my God, can you ask him to marry me? There's all of this stuff coming in. We've got rid of those ones. We're going to ask you the good questions here, like Annabelle. Which Marvel superhero are you most jealous of and why?
Oh, man. Marvel superhero or the actor that plays them? What do you
I'll
think?
take either.
All right. Well, I think that I would be, I think I'd be jealous maybe of Thor. He's a god of thunder.
Yep.
He's hilarious, and he gets to be fat Thor. He doesn't have to
Yes.
shave or have to
Yeah.
get his hair cut, and then he also gets to be funny and tough and all of that stuff. And I guess the same applies to Chris Hemsworth because I will work out like crazy when I do these movies. I eat perfectly. I work out twice a day with trainers, all of that stuff.
Wow.
Just to look. And then I look at Chris
No,
Hemsworth.
I'm not having that.
No.
I'm not having
No. It's true. And if I look at Chris Hemsworth, I think, well, what's the point? Because
Right.
look at that guy.
Imagine how I feel as a normal person, non-actor person who doesn't even train once a day. I mean, that's on me, though.
You look fantastic.
Well,
what are you
I'm
talking
wearing a
about,
baggy
Will?
t-shirt. I appreciate that. Is it true that you train like crazy? Well, you obviously did train like crazy for this film. I was expecting a topless scene. There was nothing to be seen.
Can't take your top off in the quantum realm.
Can you not?
No.
You just don't know what would happen.
No, I mean, you would get squished. I mean, regular rules don't apply.
Yeah,
I got to stay in the suit.
Yeah, of course.
I want to live.
Of course. Did you train even harder for the film, more than twice a day?
By the way, yes, I trained
Jeez.
like crazy. And then I thought afterward, I'm like, well, why? Why did I?
Knowing there wouldn't be a topless scene in there.
Yeah. There's part of it is just, I don't want to feel like an imposter. I want
Right.
to be able to get into the suit and I want to feel like, okay, I can, I'm not
Semi-believable.
self-conscious. Right. But it was kind of stupid.
Yeah, that pays off. Polly says, you've been a superhero, you've been an iconic teen heartthrob, you've been a news anchor. What has Paul got left to tick off his list? Good question, Polly. What is next? What's on the wish list?
Ooh.
It's a big question.
It really is. I mean, I guess
We got time.
a somber musical.
Oh.
A really sad musical.
Is this something that's happening?
I mean, I don't know. You got any ideas?
What, you want to write
You got to pitch something for it? Yeah. No, I got nothing. I
was trying to prepare for this.
I always want to do something that's fun and interesting and cool, and if it's something I've never tried to do before, and I get the part, great.
I love that mentality.
Yeah.
Let's take that forward. There you go, Polly. Well, listen, Paul, you're a legend. Thank you so much for actually confirming you are the nicest actor in the business. Thank you, Paul Rudd.
Oh.
Thank you very much,
Will.
sir. Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantum Mania out today. Go and check it out. Paul, thank you very much.
Thank you.